Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
When I think of a weirdo, I usually think of somebody who is an individual and free, and it's something that everybody should strive for, because everybody's different.
Hello? Hello? Why are you hiding back there? You don't have to hide from me. I'm Peg Boggs. I'm your local Avon representative, and I'm as harmless as cherry pie.
Well, I grew up watching monster movies. My parents told me before I could walk or talk that I loved monsters, and I was never afraid of them, always related to them. And I think as everybody, depending upon their upbringing, gravitates to something, I gravitated towards monsters because I felt connected to them somehow. And I think, it's perhaps just sort of growing up in an environment, in Southern California where you don't have weather really. You don't. It's not a real heavy, strong emotional content. So I always saw monsters in those kind of environments as a way somehow of how I felt inside. So they were very cathartic for me.
I am alone. I am utterly alone.
The characters in the films I've done, basically, it's the way I felt growing up.
Kind of different and isolated, and you don't feel like you fit into your surroundings and society. But, I guess if you probably ask any kid in this classroom, they'd probably say they felt the same way.
Somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow.
You spend your life, feeling like a creature and trying to become a human being, and then they try to turn you back into some kind of weird creature again. And so I think I've always been aware of that, and I think that's why I like movies like Frankenstein, where you look at the character and he's perceived as a monster, even though he isn't really. He's just different. And the angry villagers, it was easy to sort of identify that with your neighbors. And, the sort of mad scientist. I always wanted to be a mad scientist. So, all those kind of things made it easy to identify with those kind of movies.
Run.
There's something sad about it being separated, but there's also a kind of a wonderful freedom.
Wasn't that just magnificent? I was worried he was getting a little dodgy in the middle part, but then that finale, wow.
Because it's like when people brand you as a freak of some sort, it allows you to kind of act freakish without people really getting on your case.
And so being put into that category, you're kind of set aside, so you kind of feel like outside looking in, and so therefore everything does seem strange. Everything does seem, because right off the bat you're kind of going, well, I don't feel weird, but people are saying I'm weird. So then you start sort of seeing things from a different perspective that way. And so, but I'm glad of it, because I think that's, the way it is. It's life is strange and beautiful.